Hey, welcome back to the All About RFID series. I'm Kyle Stanford, your RFID Solutions Architect here at RedBeam, and we are here today to talk about myths and misconceptions of UHF RFID. Myths and misconceptions. What do I mean? All the baggage that RFID has picked up over the years, right? RFID has rumors, exaggerations, some nonsense, and some make it sound like magic and some make it sound like a disaster. So I picked 6. They're not all positive, they're not all negative, but let's just bust some myths or at least talk about them. So, myth number 1, the perfect tag exists. There is no one perfect tag for everything. Essentially, there's no unicorn out there in the tag world. Again, go back, I think it's episode 7 or 6. We talk about tags. We talk about all the different tags, why you might need them. The next episode is going to be tag placement. But essentially, you need a tag maybe with a different range. Maybe you don't want a tag that's going to read out at 30 feet. Maybe you want a tag that's close range. Maybe you want a tag that goes on metal. Maybe you want a flag tag. Maybe you want a tag that goes on some retail apparel. It's a little smaller. Your dimensions are limited. Maybe you want to encode your unique ID on that. Maybe your unique ID is longer. Maybe you can't fit it on a 96-bit tag and you need a 128-bit tag, right? There's a whole bunch of different tags for a whole bunch of different use cases, and there's no silver bullet for it. So limited memory, range, what materials it might go on. Everybody thinks they have a silver bullet tag and it's not there. Myth number 2, that it is too expensive or it's really cheap to do. I get both sides of this and it doesn't make any sense at all. So is it expensive? Sure. Compared to what? It's expensive compared to doing nothing, but is it expensive compared to the labor of somebody scanning barcodes for 3 hours a day for days at a time? Maybe not. Maybe there's an ROI that's pretty quick in there. So you have to compare it to something, and it can be pricey. The initial implementation of fixed readers and mobile readers, and you try to roll everything out all at once, can be pricey, but you can also scale it out. You don't have to start with 80 fixed readers and 50 handhelds. You can start with one handheld, 100 tags, see if it works. You can build up to a few handhelds. You can install a few fixed read points. You can scale that up over time. The technology is getting cheaper. The tags are getting cheaper. It's something that, yes, can be expensive and can be cheap, but what you need to do is find an ROI for it and a reason to do it. If you just throw RFID at a 100,000 or million square foot warehouse, yeah, it's going to be expensive. If you just grab one handheld and 10 tags, it can be really cheap. If you don't grab enterprise grade stuff and you just grab some stuff off Amazon, you can spend tens of dollars on it. So yes, it is not too expensive, but it's also not too cheap. Myth half confirmed, busted? I don't know. Number 3, it is plug and play. So we talked about software, or we're going to talk about software. You haven't seen that episode yet. So yes, RFID, it can be equated to IKEA, right? IKEA furniture is plug and play. And so much is that you get it home and you have to put it together and test to make sure you can sit on it. So yes, it's plug and play. If you have the proper tools, it is plug and play. If you have the knowledge on where to put antennas, the knowledge on what app you should probably use, what tags you should probably use, it can feel very plug and play. It feels plug and play for me in some solutions, but it is not plug and play. You can't just go out there and buy any reader, any tag, any handheld. We've talked about this in all the other videos. There's specific tags you need. There's, do you need the highest end fixed reader? Can you go with a cheaper one? It's, it scared me. It's very easy to implement, but with providers like RedBeam and other SaaS providers, we make it even easier, which has made people feel that they can just grab a reader, plug it into our software, and they're good. No, we're going to work with you. We're going to tell you where your antennas probably should go, what antennas you might use. Maybe you need a high gain antenna here. Maybe you need near field antenna on this conveyor belt because your tags are going to be up close and we don't want to read everything and reflect RFID everywhere. So yes and no. Myth half confirmed, busted again. Man, I'm bad at this. Number 4, it's a science project. So this is the exact opposite of the plug and play myth, right? This usually comes from the people we talk to. We'll be talking to them about barcode scanners or some kind of software along the way. And we'll start talking to them about RFID and they'll go, no, yeah, we tried that. It was kind of an experiment. It didn't work. Okay. Did you try it 12 years ago on really old hardware with, some server license that was $50,000 to purchase up front so you couldn't justify it? Now there are ways where this has become a standard and repeatable thing. We are done with science projects at RedBeam. We will happily talk through it with you and tell you what you could probably do to figure it out. But we are producing projects that are standard, repeatable, and easy. So yes and no. It can be a science project, but if it is, you're going to probably waste your time. Find somebody that is knowledgeable, whether it be an employee that you have that actually understands RFID and has maybe watched these videos and done a lot more research, gotten a certification, or find a provider that has done these types of projects that you are looking for. Ask them about their previous projects. There are even customers that we take to our previous customers to show them how it is implemented and how it works so they understand it's not a science project, and we can cut out that whole 6-month proof of concept phase so they don't have to go through that and just roll them straight into the project. So it's not a science project anymore. We're done with that. Number 5, it'll fix everything. Another common thing that we have is customers that we get on a call with and they want RFID. They don't come to us with a problem that they want to fix. They just want RFID and they want to throw it at everything because it'll fix everything. And RFID is a great tool, but it does not fix completely broken processes. It doesn't clean up your data for you. What you have to do is have good personnel that are trained on how to use it and a good plan for implementation before you can go and just throw RFID at a bunch of stuff. If you bring us a problem, one specific problem, we're shipping all of these things on a skid, right? We've got 50 things on a skid and they have to individually barcode scan every one of them. We want to speed that up by 5-6 times. Okay, we can put an RFID barcode or an RFID scanner there and they can do that in 3 seconds as opposed to 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever it is. But we can fix that one problem and then we can spread that out and say, oh, do you also want to track it on a conveyor? Would you also want to automatically print a label? Do all these things in the process and improve the process, not fix their process. Their process wasn't broken. They didn't not do anything at that point. They just wanted a better technology to do it. So it will fix a lot of things, but it will not fix bad processes in a company. So find the problem that makes sense for RFID to fix. Don't just bring RFID into a company for no reason at all. And number 6 is that it's only for big companies. This kind of used to be the case. When it was a science experiment, when it was too expensive, it was only for big companies. It was only for manufacturing, right, where they could actually justify something like that, or high-end personnel tracking in big expensive facilities. It's not anymore. It is built on scalable platforms right now. You can buy one handheld, one subscription to RedBeam, and a handful of tags, and you can be doing RFID tomorrow. Now, again, that goes back to some of my others. Is it plug and play? Kinda, but kinda not, right? But it's not only for big companies. Used to fix specific problems, it can work in very, very small companies. You can roll it out as your asset tracking for a very small company at a reasonable price using 1 or 2 handhelds. Or you can roll it out into your enterprise organization with 2,000 fixed readers and 50 handhelds and 500,000 tags. No problem. It works in both directions, but it's going to scale up because you no longer have to shell out $30,000 for a perpetual license for an on-premise server and build out some infrastructure in your data center and deal with all that. It's literally handheld, subscription, tags, and you're in the game. You're done. So, busted. Some are a little overhyped, some are outdated, and some are written by a guy that's tried to stick a tag on a wet towel and was mad that it wouldn't read. The fact is there's going to be more myths. I didn't even go over some of the crazy ones. It's not going to make your pacemaker go crazy. It doesn't have any effect on it. There's been studies. We've had to print those out and send them to people, right? It's science. That's all it is. It's science. We know how to work with it mostly, and we understand it. So yeah. Next up, we've got the best practices for tag placement. It's not my most exciting video, guys, but yeah. Again, follow me on LinkedIn. Post some questions. Post your myths and misconceptions. I love to comment and interact with y'all. So thanks again for listening. Whee! Whee! Still here? I notice in the series I have said some things don't necessarily make sense to you and you think I'm crazy, and they're called malaphors. It's the blending of 2 things, usually metaphors, and just smashing them together. It's usually done by accident, but it's something I've had a lot of fun with. So my favorite is we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. It's not we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and don't go burning bridges. It's we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Don't go crying over glasses half empty. So that is a malaphor. I hope you've caught at least one in the series. And I believe there's one in the direct next video. So let me know if you saw it. Hey, Kyle here with All About RFID series. Nope, that's wrong. Hey, this is Kyle Stanford here with the All About RFID series from, no.